Well, I would, I mean, some would be thinking, why can't you just, I mean, hand over your portfolio of red to another person, be collecting the salary, still being there, and still, because Joy Inc., based on what you're saying now, I don't think it's a profit-making organization.
No, it's not, absolutely
So
not.
you're going to need revenue from somewhere, and the fact that it makes you more fulfilled, what about the structure of the organization, and how are you going to achieve that?
I mean, it's going to make revenue, it's just not going to spend profits. Now, actually, what we've done is, I tell people that it's as I became older that I began to understand what we were doing with Red. So we've always run Red as a not-for-profit. That means that Debola and I had never taken a profit out of the business. And Debola and I had never even earned a salary. So what we've always done is that me and him have done this weird thing where we earn commissions, where we say, if the business is broke, then we are broke. If the business is succeeding, then we are succeeding. And we just didn't think there was any other way of doing it. And so I've never really, I mean, at the first few years of the business, when you are starting out, you shouldn't take out of your profits. So that's common sense. But even as time went on, just didn't feel like the right thing to do. Anytime there was an increase in revenue, we thought, how do we give increased salaries of the team members? How do we make people travel more? How do we train people more? And so what I've done is really just take the Red model and take it to its logical conclusion. So why we didn't have to do that as Red? So what I did was I registered Joy Inc. as a benefit corporation in America to do this, to say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to use the profits of this company to invest in the things that I'm interested in, the charities that I'm interested in. Yeah. So I feel like I've been doing that doing this non-profit model for a very long time.
So let's get into the meat of what Joy is. If you're going to put out mission statement or vision, what is the crunch or the substance of Joy?
So we say that Joy Inc. is a media and teaching company that which is focused on transforming the culture and building a generation of young Africans who are focused on the greatest happiness for the greatest many. And so essentially what we want to do is to teach people how to deal with themselves better and how to treat other people better. And we're not just doing this because it is a good thing to do, even though it is a good thing to do. We're also doing it because the research completely shows that when people are happier, they have the capacity to rebuild their societies, they have the capacity to transcend adversity, and that they have the capacity to build systems and institutions that outlive them. That's what the research says, and this has been validated in all kinds of randomized control trials over and over again, in schools, in offices, in etc. And so for me, it's like, okay, so how can we take all this research and how can we apply it at scale? And there are societies that are applying it. In many states in the US, they're applying this research. In China, they're applying it to teenagers, young people in high schools. In the UK, they're applying it in several cities. In Bhutan, they're applying it. They've changed their model of assessing their society from gross domestic happiness to gross national happiness. So this is the global, I mean, when I did it, I just wanted to help people not be depressed, because I was dealing with depression and I wanted to teach people what I had learned. But as I began to read, I thought, wait, beyond people, we can remake entire societies. That was fascinating, because I've always known that my passion has always been to build nations, so to speak. So when I began to do this, I'm like, this is not what I wrote about my life 7 years ago. But then when I started, I thought, oh, of course, the universe was taking me somewhere. This was where the universe was taking me to.
Funny you should mention the issue of depression. I wanted to touch on that, because that seemed to be one of the major catalysts for Joy Inc. And some people are watching now. They are in very good jobs, good paying jobs, good homes, marriages, etc. But they're where you were. How do you move from a state of depression to actually being bold enough to drop that big paying job and just maybe go into the mountain or do something that makes you happy?
But everybody doesn't need to. Because I see a lot of people who tell me, in the last 3 months, since December, people come tell me that they've quit their jobs because of me.
Because they want to follow
and I'm like, that's not what I asked you to do. Now, what the good news is that many of them quit their jobs to do other things, to go to other companies, even if it means that they get a pay cut or something. So that's good. But if you have a wife and family, I think you should think a bit deeper before you do that. But depression is a huge deal. And we do these Joy Master classes. I just did one yesterday called Stop Hustling. And I know that the numbers claim that about 7 million Nigerians suffer depression. But we know, based on the anecdotal evidence, and we are mapping it out now with our research partners from Yale, that it is much, 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 much more than that. Now, the thing about depression is so sneaky. It doesn't matter that you have money, you have a beautiful whatever it takes you have. It doesn't matter. A small thing can trigger this. Now, there's a researcher from the University of Kansas called Stephanie Laddy who says that depression is fundamentally a disease of civilization. That means that our body and minds are not equipped yet. There's a whole field of psychology called evolutionary psychology that tries to say our bodies and our minds are mismatched to the societies that we've built. So literally, we are not made, our minds, our bodies are not made to wake up in the morning and let in 1,000 voices into our head, otherwise known as Instagram. Yeah, so what it is that not that these things are bad, but we are struggling to build the skills to cope with these things. We are struggling with building the skills to get so much feedback. You do something and 100 people are giving you feedback on your duties. You wake up in the morning and you can see how you were just managing your life, but you can see how 20 people are living their lives. Some of them are curating their lives, and it's affecting your decision making. So that's what is leading to depression. Now, it's a crisis because the World Health Organization had said that by 2020, depression will be the leading cause of disability worldwide.
Disability?
Disability, which means that people will not be able to go to work. They'll not be able to take care of their children. They will not be able to function because they were depressed.
2020?
Now, the researchers are saying that that time has already come. That it's already the leading cause of depression, of disability.
And I mean, it's not too far from the truth, even from headlines and stories that we've read in the public space in the last, I don't know, couple of years, 2, 3, 5 years, and you look at depression, you look at suicide attempts, you look at broken homes, marriages, people who just get furious. But people who just for no reason. We're going to touch on that, but I want to now take it into the polity, so to speak, because your early days cannot be pushed aside because of Joy. There's an implication of the fact that what you do affects lives. Now, the lives come 2019, where a lot of decisions will be made. People are going to have to make very tough decisions, irrespective of their state of mind. But we'll come back after the break. Chude Jideonwo was still here. Joy Inc. is the mission, and we'll be back to talk more in depth about how this affects the average Nigerian and 2019. Stick around.